apple tree. So this is the back part of the garden, and the back part of the garden usually will either get tilled for corn or it'll get black plastic put down for melons. And we put the black plastic down, and you can see there's little holes in the plastic, and you plant the melons right in there. So if you do something like this, it's really quick. There's no soil preparation. You can put your plastic down right on top of whatever you got. Just mow it down as low as you can get. Put your plastic down, go through, cut your holes. If you got weeds growing, if you're planting on an existing area and you're not doing any soil prep, you just prep just the individual holes. You pull out the weeds in the hole. If you want to throw some manure in there just to give it a little oomph, go for it. You don't need it, but that's how you grow melons. Pretty much all of your melons, cantaloupes, they grow really well this way. So back here this morning, and you can see here I'm rolling out some hay, and I'm just putting it right down on top of this, and that's going to completely smother it, and it's a little light right here. And what you want is you want it so thick that you're going, I put too much on here, okay? Because it's going to break down, and see it. This can be spread out just a little bit. This might be a little bit thick, but it breaks down and spreads out. You guys have an abundance of leaves, just dead leaves available to you. Dead leaves will do the same thing. They'll work as hay and as mulch and keep the sun from hitting the soil. And but you need to do a little more soil prep. So what I'll do here is I'll pull this plastic and I'll move this plastic over to this area where it's all weedy, and you can see all my little watering jugs out here, and I just collect watering jugs all over the place. But it's a lot easier when you got all these little holes. Just set a watering jug next to it and you get water directly on the plant rather than turning on the big sprinkler up here. Rather than turning on the big sprinkler, you just use a little bit of water instead of watering all of the weeds in the area that you're not using. And the thing about, sorry about that if you just saw what the dog was doing there. So this is an area where I got to do some bare seed planting. So I've cleared this out, and there's a couple of turnips left over from the, or beets left over from the winter garden. But this is where we'll do some bare ground planting. I'll come out here and I'll plant some stuff directly into the soil and be really vigilant about keeping it clear of weeds. And then once the stuff pops up, you come in with some hay, and you pull hay and you put it in between your plants, kind of like you would well, this was planted directly into the hay. Here's one that got eaten by a rabbit. Where'd it go? That was one, but a rabbit got in here. And that one, we just you just make a little hole in the hay, pull it back, and poke your plant into the ground, and you're done. And I'm just going to send you some of this rosemary. Hopefully I'll be able to get some with roots on it. If I don't, these stems root so easy. Just strip back the stem, just break it off, like right here. You just break it off, strip back the stem, and stick that in water. Stick that in wet soil or water, and you see how rough cut it is. It don't matter. You can use clean scissors. This stuff roots really easy. I literally just poke it into the ground. Like here's one that I poked into the ground a few weeks ago, and you can see the bottom is green and the top is not. But our neighbors are practicing their aim right now. I don't know if you can hear that. But down here we got tomatoes that we just poked right into the ground, right, put a little hay between them. And this is spinach coming up, and just little seedlings. This took, I wasn't out here watering as much as I should have, so it took a little longer for it to come up than it should have. But it's coming up now, and I'm here to give it water, so I'm not at work. But and then garlic. So that's one way to put garlic. But you can see I got a fruit tree. I got an apple tree right here. Just plant garlic all around the base of it. Carrots are another thing that have to pretty much be sown into bare soil. And again, all these things that you can sow into bare soil, once they come up, like these were all sown into bare soil, but it's been a while. These this patch right here is actually a couple of years old, and it just keeps replenishing itself. But these are leeks, and then that's garlic. This is all elephant garlic right here, and then this over here is a small sweet garlic, and then these are leeks. We got thyme right there. Thyme, it's on our side. And then over here we got my rose chopped back, grown back for the spring. The oregano needs little stems. My oregano made it through the winter with no problem at all. And so it just needs all the little stemmies brushed back. And I'm going to send you some of this too. And big, huge patch of thyme. A little bit of catnip right there. All things that are real easy to grow, especially if you're doing something like a pallet garden. But the hay method, the Ruth Stout gardening with hay method, is so much easier. Here's a good example of what happens to an area where you don't get the hay in there and you work and there's just things to do. This was these are our turnips. I shouldn't say was, they are turnips, and they can probably actually be recovered, but I didn't get in here and get it. Oh, there's a turnip right there. So there are turnips here, but usually I grow these for greens, but I didn't space them out. I didn't get them mulched. It got cold after I planted them, like real cold, and I just said forget it. And so that's what happens when you don't tend to it. But quick, easy ways to do instant gardening. Like back here along this here, I'll probably just poke potatoes into the ground right there. And there's your boy, my dog, and somebody just over there just shooting away. You have a beautiful day. Life is a garden. It's all about just letting some things grow that you like and removing the things that you don't. Love you guys. Stay healthy and happy. Bye-bye.